This is Sniper signing in to Command and Conquer Red Alert 3 on the map Battle Base Beta for the Grand Finals of For the Win number 46. Spawning on the bottom left side is the Orange Soviets. This is Dimon. Quite the regular to the Red Alert 3 tournament scene. And his challenger, becoming as equally of a regular, this, as the Red Empire player, is Das.Duelon. Gonna be opening up with those dual racks. Get that first burst drone out into the sky just to see what's what and what's not gonna be going on over in Dimon's base. Spotting the stream of conscripts, and the flak trooper gonna be chasing away that burst drone, or at least forcing it to circumvent that area and forcing it to take a little bit longer of a route. But that will hand control of the center over to Dimon. Map control. This is the beginning of map control. This is how you get it. You claim garrisons basically uncontested. Once you get these, on Battle Base Beta in particular, once you get these two central garrisons, then suddenly you have an easier pathway over to these garrisons, this garrison here in particular, because of the ability to fire down on your opponent's oil derrick, or vice versa, this garrison over here. If you're lucky, you might be able to get down to the lower garrisons and possibly accomplish something down there, which Dimon is currently looking to exploit this upper garrison. Going to be stashing a few conscripts in there. Can also run some some infantry over here, looking to just get some semblance of information off just by sticking units pretty much anywhere and everywhere. And gaining on all these garrisons, while they're relatively weak units in the garrisons and they're easy to dig out, they grant map control because they grant vision. Granting the vision gives you all the information you need. Because really, strategy games, not just Command and Conquer, but strategy games in general, they are about 75-80% knowledge and vision. You know, what do you know? What do you know about your opponent? Or what do you know he's going for? Which right here, Tengus, they're coming in, they're trying to get some harassment. Ideally, they wanted to get some harassment, but MCV already moving, hammer tank on the scene, and the sentry gun in between the two refiners. That is a very strategically placed sentry gun because its firing arc goes just within range of both of the ore collectors here in the middle of Dimon's base. So having those, or having that there, effectively means Tengu no harass here. Third refinery being queued and is on its way out towards the water expansion. And refinery is going to be finishing up from Dimon. It's going to be stalling for just a little bit. So as that will put it a little bit closer to Das.Duelon's refinery, but not by much. So that Dimon's refinery is a substantial bit ahead of Das.Duelon's and will give him the ability to get just that much further ahead in the eco game. Both players still having their oil derricks. This one was never taken out. This conscript is pulling an infinite number of Molotov cocktails out of thin air and just lobbing them at an ungarrisoned building. I'm sure. Oh boy, I'm sure Comrade Kravchenko would be very proud of that. Imperial Docks taking to the scene as well, as we did see a naval yard going up online over here, and he doesn't have a battle lab. So that's purely probably going to be some Akula subs. And as the first units queue, yes, that is most definitely an Akula sub. Akula sub will be taking out to the scene. Going to be heading out to the water. And will this be a T2? No, there will not be a T2. No T2 on the Imperial Docks. It means Yari mini subs, which means it takes 4 Yari mini subs or 3. No, 3. It takes 3. To like if they use their last voyage ability, it takes 3 Yari mini subs to kill a single Akula sub. Now that could be quite a bit more so, let us say. That could be more if they didn't use that ability and they just tried to use their torpedoes. That's the word I'm looking for. If they just try to use their basic attack function, it would take quite a bit longer to kill an Akula sub, which here comes the first Akula sub. Going to be squaring off with those first 2 Yari mini subs. Ultra torpedoes, though, is very detrimental to the health of a Yari mini sub. There's 1 suicide bomb. There's 2 suicide bombs. But now this refinery, there's a chance that this refinery is going to be put at risk here. Which that Akula sub down it goes. There we go. First Akula sub taken care of. Little hit squad heading out into the base of Das.Duelon, just trying to see what it can do. However, that is not going to be too terribly much. Flag Trooper inside the garrisonable structure. He's going to lose a Tengu if he's not careful. That's not how you need to lose a Tengu, but he's going to lose the Tengu. That's depressing. Loses the Tengu. Terradrome coming up. And there's the Electro Micro. The Electro Micro forcing that Mecha Tengu to stay put. Bullfrogs. Bullfrogs chasing away the Imperial Air Force. Akula sub hitting the harassment switch once again. Blasting the refinery with the ultra torpedoes as well. That refinery is very short for this world, I believe. One last voyage used. I think he's trying to see if he can kill it without using last voyage, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, that refinery is dead and dead, especially with the orbital drop coming down. That refinery is dead and deader anyway. Naval Yard either taken out or sold off. Either way, these Yari subs have zero purpose. He needs to like cut production on them right now because he does not need them. There are exactly zero things for them to shoot on this map right now. Dimon has packed his bags. He's like, yep, you know what? Fine, I don't need it anymore. And hello. Airfield down in the center of the map with that Crusher Crane. Again, more map control, and here comes the Twin Blades. Here come the Twin Blades. And I don't think Das.Duelon is prepared. As a matter of fact, I don't think Das.Duelon's prepared for very much of anything that Dimon's got headed his way. Bullfrogs, Hammer Tanks, Twin Blades, probably going to be MiGs soon. One Tengu gets taken out by that Twin Blade. These choppers are more or less negated. There's not a whole heck of a lot they are capable of accomplishing right now. Taking the high ground refinery. Just like, yep, okay. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. Just coming up and, you know, just establishing that fourth refinery while Das.Duelon is still kept on 2. Still on 2 refs, going for the third, but again, okay, that's 2,500 that you really need to invest in units right now because you have exactly 0 things that shoot up. Where'd the choppers go? Did they die? I think the choppers died. Does he have MiGs? Yes, he does. He does have a. He at least has a MiG. Right now, you have one thing. You have one thing that shoots up, and that one thing is in danger of being died. It's in danger of being dieded, just like everything else that's happening. Tier 2 dojo, which frankly I don't understand why you. Maybe that was a misclick. Upgrading a dojo to tier 2s, that serves really no purpose in this situation. Tengus, double down on the Tengus. MiGs, they have air superiority. Twin Blades, gonna mop everything up, and that's it. Das.Duelon realizing that he is backed into a corner, and the Lion has him trapped. Taps out. And Dimon takes the victory in game number 1. Very well played. And just to draw attention, from around the 35 to 40 second mark or so, Dimon was very, very significantly ahead, all things considered. Like I say, even at the point where he had the most amount of units, it would have been like maybe 8 or 9 units on the map versus 16, 17 units on the map. Just I'm looking over here at the y-axis. Dimon had a lot more in terms of units on the field, and that translates to having vision out the wazoo everywhere. You can see every move your opponent is about to make even before he makes it, and so Dimon was able to really just piecemeal him down. You know, goes after the naval refinery, and then immediately cuts naval production. So boom, the Yari mini subs are now wasted. And those hard switches to air after going for a predominantly ground-focused army in the early game. And plus that central location on both the Crusher Crane and the airfield meant not only could the air units get some quick and easy repairs, they also have a really quick reinforce time. They don't have to fly all the way back across the map to get the repairs or to regroup with other units and then go fly all the way back. You know, the reinforce time is essentially cut in half. And grand total is about 6,000 in favor of Dimon. 6,000 pace for those 4 or 5 Twin Blades that we saw at the end of the game. And those Twin Blades wound up leading to the win for Dimon. That wound up allowing him to achieve victory in this game. So having an eco lead and having a vision lead, or having a map control lead over your opponent, very, very, very critically important. You know, Command and Conquer is not just about who has the straight eco advantage. You know, you also have who has the strategic advantage, who's got, you know, the initiative advantage. You name it. You know, you could probably argue the existence of a whole bunch of other advantages. But either way, that's beyond the scope of this video. So that concludes game number 1. So let's jump to game number 2. Spawning on Infinity Isle. On the left side is the orange Soviets player. This is Dimon. And his opponent, as the blue Empire, this is Das.Duelon. Gonna be busting out Duel Dojo, once again, very standard on this particular map. Burst drone, plus a few Imperial warriors to try and secure this area here, and to provide covering fire to this dojo, who is moving forward to build an engineer right outside the doorstep of that oil derrick, just to get that under control. Dimon, most players destroyed this structure here, and they destroy that to stop enemy infantry units from, say, just running across the central choke, jumping in here. It's like, oh, congratulations, I now have a garrison right next to your oil derrick. I'm going to destroy your oil derrick now. A lot of players tend to do that, and that's why a lot of players are now just destroying the structure outright. So they say, you know what, no, it's just not worth it. I have better things to do than to leave a potentially damaging garrisonable structure alive right next to my oil derrick. Now, in Infinity Isle, it's a very choke pointy map. I mean, obviously, if you couldn't tell. One central choke. Just one land central pathway between the bases. However, the Empire and Soviets in particular can get around this quite easily due to the versatility and the verticality of their units. Soviets, you have something like the Sickle or the Bullfrog's man cannon that you can jump down the cliff, fire over the cliff if you need to. Or, if you're on the Imperial side, you have something like your your Tengus, your Strikers, that you can just transform from sky to ground. And just, that way you can just fly out from over here, go to ground, and boom, harassment. Well, one way or another, both of these players, they have some very handy ways of getting rid of the problems with the map terrain. But that was a good catch by this Tengu. That was a very good catch from that Tengu. Catches one flak trooper on the parachute, destroying the terror drone, allowing these other Tengus to get out of the mecha bay and get out and help with the defense, and then managing to catch the other flak trooper as well. But that that Tengu is dead and deader. Bullfrog making the Tengu's lives considerably difficult here. 2 Tengus down in the yellow health. There are other reinforcements coming. Yes, there's another terror drone of reinforcements, or another terror drone coming to reinforce. That Sickle is not long for this world either, because boxing with the security system on that collector is not a good idea whatsoever. It is absolutely not a good idea. Another one goes down. How many Tengus are gonna go down? Another Tengu goes down. That's what, 5 Tengus so far? 5 Tengus, and he's lost 1 Sickle for it. 1 Sickle, 2 flak troopers, and a terror drone. That Sickle's getting kind of weak. Dimon could probably stand to micro that back, but he doesn't, unfortunately. So this Bullfrog could very well be in danger of going down here in a moment. Another Sickle is in the red, but trades it for another Tengu. But Tank Buster is here. The hero Tank Buster going to be clearing out that terror drone. And now suddenly this Sickle is going to have to bite the dust here. And Dimon, if you don't count the MCV or his collectors, he has exactly 0 units on the field for all of maybe 7 seconds before whatever this is finished, before this hammer tank finishes out of the war factory. But either way, I think that's the first span I've ever seen Dimon not have units, or the first span of time I've ever seen Dimon not have a unit on the field. That is that's surprising. Dimon's usually one of those players, he just churns the units out like there's no tomorrow. And he's a big fan of his Bullfrogs, that's for sure. Bullfrog gonna be denying this Tengu, forcing him back. Not a whole heck of a lot these Tengus can do right now. They could fly in. Well, of course, Das.Duelon is not quite privy to the information that we as observers are privy to. Airfield gonna be going down as well, but with his Bullfrog a little bit out of position, is that a terror? That's a terror drone. Terror drone catching one of these Tengus off guard, and he caught the more full health Tengu as well. But I guess that doesn't particularly matter. Since the mecha base is going to be here, this one can just get repaired anyway. Hammer Tank and a Bullfrog moving on out. One Striker VX already on the scene. Will there be any more? Yes, there is another one coming out. I'll have to keep an eye on those and see what he's planning on doing with them. One Tank Buster going to be forcing back this Hammer Tank and Bullfrog. Here come the choppers. Let's see. Oh, nope, pulling back. They want to be careful, and don't get caught by this anti-air. Burst Drone, however, does get turned away. Bullfrog's flak is very, very, very potent. And it would be prudent for Empire players to avoid it like the plague if you have Chopper VXs. Because these things, I swear, they have armor of paper mache. They will, they'll die very quickly. One Tengu is going to go down as it tries to go after that Twin Blade. But now Bullfrog going to be engaging. But look at Dimon. He's leech beaming the Hammer Tank, or with the Hammer Tank, and transfers the anti-air weapon onto the Hammer Tank itself so that the first Chopper VX can still be shot down. If that's not resourcefulness, I don't know what is. MiGs taking to the skies now. 3 of them. Plus this Twin Blade. Going for a Dox. Which, frankly, he really does not need. There's a naval yard going down now. But will anything come of it is the question. There's nothing out here that can really get to this Twin Blade, although it has extremely low health. I think Das.Duelon needs to just dive. Just dive in there. Just take your Tengu and just dive. Just go in there, and just go do your thing. Don't worry so much about don't worry so much about these MiGs. When your refinery's under threat, another couple of salvos here, and that refinery's going to be vulnerable, but down goes the Tengu because of a misclick. What I'm assuming to be a misclick. Attacking this MiG in particular instead of the basically one-shot kill Twin Blades. Or shoot, even the one-shot kill MiG, which now goes down. But now there's 2 Tengus here. Those Tengus could have easily come out here and killed these Twin Blades, and frankly, could have saved this refinery. I think they could have saved it. If those Twin Blades weren't here, then Orbital Drop wouldn't have done as much damage, and then those MiGs would have been either forced to either pull back or just get shot down. It wasn't necessary to lose that. I think that's put Das.Duelon in an unnecessarily difficult position, and now both of those Tengus biting the dust as well, trying to pursue, get greedy, and get those kills, get the kill confirms on the Twin Blades, even though there's a wall of Bullfrog flak just waiting for them. I think that could have been handled much, much better, let us say, than what it was. Much better. Chopper is going to be heading out, trying to do a little bit of harassment alongside this Tengu, but those Bullfrogs are already trying to respond. Hammer Tanks are kind of slowing them down a little bit, so Dimon could sidestep those Hammer Tanks and get them out of the way just a little bit quicker here, I think. I think he's noticed it now. But with that MiG coming in now, they're going to be forced back. That MiG, down goes the Chopper, I think. Yes, down it goes. It wasn't able to make it to the land in time to be transformed. Unnecessary losses. Oh, no. He missed. Yeah, I think that's a misclick. That has got to be a misclick. He accidentally built one too many refineries. Oh, no. Oh, how did that happen? He accidentally built one too many refineries. Now, I think he's 2,500 in the hole. He's going for 4 refineries. He's going to wind up with 5. But he needs units. He doesn't need eco. He needs units. Which he has a staggering lack thereof. I mean, he's got a 4 tank busters guarding the front door? With 4 hammer tanks looking to punch their way in. Bullfrogs here, MiGs here, Twin Blades here. Establishing the ref, sure, but you got to stop and ask the question: what good is it gonna do? I mean, I'm sure that was an accidental refinery build, but oh my goodness, that's gonna be a mistake. That's gonna come back to haunt him very, very quickly. Because I think we're looking at the near conclusion of this game. One last hoorah of an attempt from Das.Duelon taking his last few chopper VXs. Like, well, this game's probably going to go down the tubes anyway. Might as well try and do some damage. But Dimon's already on top of it. The Bullfrog is built, but is also taken out just as quickly as it is built. But that does stall for some time, and now the responding Bullfrogs do come in and are able to land some shots. This army, and honestly, I mean, Dimon's going to pull the W on this one. It's looking like Twin Blades cleaning up from the skies. The last remnants of the army cleaned up in Dimon's base. Last hoorah. Looks like he's trying to get some Tengus up. I mean, if he has point defense drones, he could probably beat the MiGs if he has PDD, and if he gets enough. He needs more than 3. He probably needs more than 4. I'd say at least a group of 5. If he had a group of 5 and slaps PDD on them, I think he'd be able to win. He should be able to win anyway. That's about what it takes to beat some Apollo fighters. But now, oh, but that would be bad if they get picked off by some Twin Blades. Oh, but there goes the PDD. Down go the Twin Blades instantly. Will the MiGs win or will they lose? 2 MiGs down, 2 Tengus down. 3 Tengus going down. Oh, that was an elite Tengu. Oh, the elite status on the MiG. And it gets away. Oh, boy. That's a tough loss. Now the ground army's pouring back in through the front door. And Das.Duelon, realizing he's been beat, taps out. GG, well played. He tries. Das.Duelon is persistent, but that was one heck of a misclick if I've ever seen one. Accidentally building 1 refinery too many. That is not something that you want to be doing. That was no bueno. Not good at all. You don't want to be doing that because that 2,500 in the hole, you know, that was 41,000, about a 5,000 eco in favor of Dimon, plus having to not only rebuild that extra refinery. I mean, plus why out of that 4,100 of that 41,000, he spent 7,500 there at the end of the game on those 3 extra refineries. Well, I mean, admittedly, one of them was by mistake, but still, that's that much less money, or that much less effective money that Das.Duelon had to fight off Dimon, and in the end, Dimon just had too many units. See, it's just in the end, you get right up here, and Dimon just has this critical mass of about 13 units or so. 13, 14, 15, and that's all it takes. That's really and truly all it takes. Once you get up to that critical mass like that, it's a snowball effect that once it starts rolling, it does not stop. Not at all. And that is a lesson I think Das.Duelon is having to learn the hard way in this series. But with the conclusion of game number 2, let us jump to game number 3. Deploying to the map, Kevano Republic. On the left side, spawning in as the orange Soviets player, it is Dimon. And his opponent, continuing as the blue Empire player, riding the struggle bus, as it seems, after games 1 and 2, it is Das.Duelon. Kevano Republic can be quite the interesting map. Kind of an odd place, or an oddly arranged map with these cliff sides creating natural choke points for an attacker to try and move through. Oil derricks here and here alongside the obs towers that really nobody ever takes. Is really, I mean, it's been a while since I've actually seen someone take an observation post. They have a ton of health on top of everything else. They do have a ton of health. But one dojo gonna be headed here, another dojo probably gonna be headed here. Is it? Yes, there it is. Another dojo gonna be heading over, and he's gonna be greeted by Vlad the Flak Trooper. Vlad the Flak Trooper is going to rejoice when he sees a flimsy little nano core headed his way. Because a flat cannon just boink. Oh, but you see right there, that is the mark of a good player. Or a mark of someone who at the very least is able to recognize the threat and respond to the situation. He was going to go in for the crush move on the Flak Trooper with the dojo core. However, the Flak Trooper switched to mag mines. Mag mines are extremely powerful, especially against nano cores. Against a nano core, after it's taken 2 hits from a flat cannon like that, 1 hit. Mag mines, very, very useful. Soviet players, please, oh please, oh please, use your mag mines. Flak troopers are good. They're handy, you know. But if enemy vehicles are coming in to try and go for the crush move, You can't just safely crush a pack of Soviet flak troopers like you can Allied javelin troopers. You can pseudo do it to Imperial tank busters, but they have their spider holes, so that kind of keep them safe. But you know, losing that, and hello, that's an engineer. But yeah, no, Soviet players, use your mag mines because they can just wreak havoc with enemy vehicles if they try and go in for the crush move. It's amazing. Oh boy, that's nope number 1 and nope number 2, and goodbye. Bad luck number 1 and bad luck number 2 equals dead engineer. R.I.P. the Japanese engineer. Tengu's taking to the skies, but Warbear again just around the area, able to get some vision around the Imperial base, see what's what and what's not. A garrisonable structure, getting some rough vision around this area, seeing what's coming out. Well, the Sickles try and take down. The Sickles could probably just take down this dojo. Oh, but no, the Bullfrog is in danger from these Tengus, and that's where the Sickles are going. They're going to go try and make sure that Bullfrog is defended. Want to keep it safe for as long as physically possible. Third ref going down. Is there a third over here? No third. That is unfortunate. Is that a third now? Yes, there it is. There's the third. So the third from both players coming on out. But Dimon's will already be established, so give him a good bit of extra eco. Having that extra eco is going to make quite a bit of difference. I mean, having this eco, this is going to go on for another 30-45 seconds, all right, before that refinery over here on the right side is actually placed and completed, and the money starts flowing over there. And then Dimon will be that far ahead of his opponent, right? Well, that's going to translate just like we've seen in games 1 and 2. That has the potential to translate into those 4 or 5 twin blades, and twin blades they've had a habit of being a game changer, shall we say, in this series so far. Tier 2, Striker VX is already taking to the scene. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's one way to look at it, but Albert Einstein would have a different take on running the same strategy time and time again, even after it proved less than successful in the first 2 games. But now we'll have to see if this proves any differently. Smelling blood in the water, Dimon heads on to the north. Ore Collector already dipping out of there. He's like, get me out of here. Get me away from these Sickles. I don't want anything to do with them. Bullfrog's going to be engaging. He needs to engage the Bullfrogs. He's engaging the Sickles. He's splitting his fire between the Sickles. Oh my goodness. R.I.P. Micro. Oh, rip Micro. Oh no. That's depressing. That is very depressing. Oh, goodbye. And that is the end of Das.Duelon. That was, oh my goodness. Dial up 1-800 Micro fail, because that is what, oh boy. Oh boy. In that situation, diving on the Bullfrogs probably would have been your best bet. I mean, that wasn't a good situation for your Striker VXs or Chopper VXs to be in to begin with, but they were there, right? So regardless of whatever got them to that point, they were there. If those Bullfrogs had been focus fired, then perhaps the Sickles would have died, and then this game could still be going. But I mean, if you look again, right, for most of the game, some about like the minute 45, 50 second mark or so, Dimon ahead on units. He's just able to have units just kind of just dot 1 unit here, 2 units there, just dotted around the map. He can get eyes on really whatever in the world he wants. And there, having that extra eco puts him ahead just ever so slightly. Which really in this game, just shy of 5.5 minutes, really, it doesn't make that big of a difference. That was just the tried and true micro fail on the part of Das.Duelon. It's very unfortunate to see a high-end player just suffer from a micro fail that winds up costing him the game. It is unfortunate. Perhaps it was an early game, or perhaps this was played very early for him. It was a long day. He didn't get much sleep, whatever. But we'll see, as game number 3 is now concluded. So let's head to game number 4. Spawning on the map, Industrial Strength on the upper right side. As the Orange Soviets, this is Dimon. Currently bumping his opponent to driving the struggle bus as the Green Empire player. This is Das.Duelon. Das.Duelon, he's the struggle is real with him today. The struggle is most certainly real. Dojo the Cour is headed out, but Dual Racks already out, and the conscript lines are already taking to the field. Warbear gonna get eyes on, gonna see what's what and see exactly what's happening. Another Warbear here, Magmine, Flak Trooper already ready to go. Gonna get some damage off, but now with that Warbear dead, he needs to retreat so that he doesn't get like instantaneously picked off. But that's very nice on Dimon's part. He microed out the Flak Trooper so that the Bonsai charging Imperial Warrior would not kill the Flak Trooper inside of the building. That was very, very nice from him. Just keeping that extra little bit of DPS alive so that he could still have some anti-structure DPS and not just the pitiful damage output of the conscripts AK-47s. And then they are microing out the Flak Trooper just so he can get it out of the building and do something else with it. Send it somewhere else, maybe where it would be more needed. But Dimon, he's going to be making a play. Yes, he is. Racks have been sold off. One engineer heading left and one engineer heading right. Going to get both of those oil derricks as it seems. But however, maybe not with this many Imperial Warriors. All those Imperial Warriors taking on that garrison symbol structure and winning. Be like Charlie Sheen and just win. But now I feel like he could have prevented this capture. Had those Imperial Warriors just bolted it, I feel like that could have been prevented. Gonna be going forward, possibly looking to get some pressure on Dimon's base. Which that it is indeed looking like the plan, and a Defender Corps coming with him. But I think I see a problem with this plan. I think I see, well, a lack of a certain unit, and that's going to cause problems. Well, the MCV, a $5,000 hunk of crushing metal, that's also going to be a problem. But now they're stopping to attack. Oh, no, micro. Oh, rip. Goodbye. The crushing fest is real. All of the anti-tank just got crushed. Most of the Imperial Warriors got crushed, and that's it. Das.Duelon realizing that was it. One last hoorah, and it got him virtually nowhere. Oh, he tried. He really did that last game. He tried. It's a sub 3-minute game. That was very, very fast. Eco, the only difference is just Dimon got the oil derrick. So beyond that, the eco is really not that important. That just came to the games 3 and 4 really just came down to a micro fail. And that micro fail in game 4, yeah, and the MCU let the MCV get some serious crushing off. The serious crushes of the MCV, plus the additional crushes of that hammer tank that was built. There wasn't really much hope left for Das.Duelon in that session. Not really. Dimon is a fantastically skilled player, very, very strong in the Red Alert 3 tournament scene. GG to both of these players in this series. And congratulations to Dimon for claiming the victory and for the win number 46. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. And this is Sniper, signing out.